You should never lose money on your first Amazon product. If you're about to wire $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 to your supplier and you're hoping it will work, that's guessing. And guessing is always expensive. I've built an $850,000 a year brand and I've lost money before skipping validation. That's why this matters. Validation isn't just looking for high search demand on Helium 10 and calling it a day. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how where is there a rooster? In this video, I'm going to show you how to validate your product idea without guessing. Before you even spend $1 on inventory or even talk to suppliers or fall in love with your idea. Validation isn't just one step, it's actually 3. And if your product fails any one of them, you don't move forward. You ready? Let's jump in. All 3 of these validation steps are essential to do before you start developing your product. You want to go through each and every one of these to make sure that this is the right product for you to spend the next 3 months building and developing and buying inventory on. You definitely can't do these later or you will lose money. Let's talk about the first step. The first step is what I call a white space validation. This is different than just pulling high volume keywords and looking for high search volume and low competition on Helium 10, or finding a trend and jumping on that, hoping that that's going to be your golden ticket. Those things are the fastest way to lose on Amazon. When I say white space validation, what I mean is you are going to start with your unique knowledge, your lived experience, what you're better at than anybody else, the things that make you tick. What products do you obsess over? What products are you frustrated with? What are the hobbies or the roles you play in life? And how do those products that you're using meet your needs? There's got to be something in your life that you care about from a product perspective. Could be your hobby, your passion, your job, whatever. I like to call that your unfair advantage. Everybody has one. You'll find it. You find that, and then what you're going to do, you're going to take some of those products and product ideas for people in that space, and you're going to look in Helium 10. Now, we're not looking for just high search volume and low competition. What we're actually looking for is any search volume and product grids that don't actually meet those needs. Let me explain. Let's say that you're an avid yogi. Let's say you're an avid yogi and you go to yoga twice a week. That could be your unfair advantage. So then I want you to take the products that you use as a yogi and run them through Helium 10, right? Yoga mat, blocks, straps, water bottle, sweat towel, whatever, right? And then what you're going to do, you're going to find long tail keywords that have some volume that the product grid doesn't match the search. So instead of it just being water bottle, maybe it's copper water bottle with a straw, right? Very specific. And then you're going to take that phrase, copper water bottle with a straw, go and search it on Amazon and see, do these products actually meet what these people were looking for? And do it in an area that you understand better than anybody else, because you're going to be able to see whether or not the products that are there are actually good and are actually what yogis are looking for. And if not, that passes the first validation step, white space. You're looking for places where there is unmet search demand that no one is meeting. Places where the products that are offered against those search terms aren't good. And you'll know if you have an unfair advantage in the space, you'll know if the products there are good or not. That's step 1. If you can't clearly articulate your product and why it needs to exist, not white space. Step two. Step two, I like to call minimum viable margin math. This is a step that echoes a step that we'll do much later in the process, but we do it at the very beginning as a gut check. We're going to run the numbers. You're going to start with those long tail keywords that you found. You're going to look at the pricing on the products in that space. And assuming an SRP in that range, you are going to run the numbers backwards. You're going to take all of the costs that you're going to have and pull them out. Amazon fees, both the placement and the fulfillment fee. You're going to have shipping to the country that you're going to sell in. You might have tariffs or duties. You might have testing or pre-shipment inspections. You're going to take all of those things and you're going to work backwards to figure out what your maximum allowed product cost will be. Once you have the maximum allowed product cost, you're going to run that quick through Alibaba and see if you're even in the right ballpark. Because if not, you either need to figure out, can I make this product a higher sell price? Or is this product something that even makes sense? I actually have a spreadsheet that makes all of that math easy. So if you want that, just comment math and I'll get you the link for that. My rule of thumb for margin math is I aim for 40% contribution margin on a brand new product that I've never run before. Ideally, you would aim for 45%, but on a first order of 1,000 units, it's going to be very difficult to do. So typically, I'll aim for 40%, and then when I place a bigger PO in the future, due to economies of scale, I usually can hit 45%, or I manipulate a few things to hit 45%, right? My vendor might give me a discount. I will probably ship full container load versus less than a container load. I may not have a testing cost at that point, right? So there's a lot of things that change around and can make things more efficient. The third validation step is making sure that there's a real place to differentiate your product. So the way that I like to do this is you already know what product is missing because it starts from those long tail keywords. And then you're leveraging your unfair advantage in the space because you know things that a lot of other people don't, but you're only a focus group of one. And we need to look for additional external validation that this is actually a product opportunity worth chasing. So what I like to do is I'll take that long tail search result and then I'll pull up the top 10, 15 products and read the reviews. Read them. You're looking for patterns. You're looking for people that are commenting on those products about the same unmet need that you found from those long tail keywords. We just need more data. If somebody needed a copper water bottle with a metal straw and they didn't find it, they very likely bought something else and were unsatisfied. And finding those unsatisfied voices in reviews is just going to help us validate this opportunity size. We're going to want to make sure that however we're going to differentiate our product to have it fit this unmet need is actual real differentiation. What do I mean by that? Color, not a differentiation. Putting your logo on it, not a differentiation. Packaging it with an extra thing, not a differentiation. Any overseas seller can copy you doing those things in about 12 seconds. I'm talking about something that actually requires a real product development cycle that makes a product that is actually better than anything that's out there. If your idea is to just make something look different or look cuter or put more different components in a box together, I'm going to tell you, don't bother. You will lose money. Don't make that product. Now that you know the 3 steps to find a product that won't lose you money, white space, margin math, real differentiation, how do you find a product idea that actually passes all 3 filters? Well, you don't start with demand data. Now that you know the 3 filters to find a product that won't lose you money, white space, margin math, real differentiation, how do you find a product idea that actually passes all those filters? Well, you don't start with demand data. You start with your unfair advantage. That's exactly why I built my One Product Method. It walks you step by step in a structured way how to find your unfair advantage and how to generate product ideas so that then you can walk them through these validation filters. If you want my full One Product Guide brainstorming workbook, the exact method I use in my 12-week guided cohort to find product ideas from your unfair advantage that'll be ready for validation through these 3 filters, comment 1 below and I'll send you that full workbook so you can validate your ideas before you ever wire money to a supplier. If you're not sure what unfair advantage actually looks like, I made a video on just that topic, walking you through how I started with my unfair advantage to build a brand new product for my brand. All right, let's build something real. I'll see you in the next one.